Hi, my name's Stuart. I'm a collage artist, and today we're going to be doing some contemplative collage. You're going to need a few things before we start. You're going to need a magazine, something like this, kind of glossy. Could be a weekend magazine with a newspaper, could be anything you like, but something that people don't mind you chopping up. You're also going to need something to do the chopping up with, a pair of scissors, something pretty sharp if you can. Not somebody's dressmaking scissors, but something sharp. You need some glue. I use this brand. Many other brands are available, but stick glue is ideally what you need. You're also going to need some card. I've got a bit of mount board that I got from Scrap Store, but you could use anything. You could use something like the back of a cereal packet box. Any sort of card really. A heavy envelope. Later on, we're going to need a metal ruler and a craft knife, but we'll worry about that a little bit later on. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes to get the materials ready. Okay, so hopefully you've got all your stuff ready. To start off with, we're going to use the magazine. What I'd like you to do is to just flick through the magazine. So for the first pass, you're just going to look through the magazine. Just look at it. Just look at the images. That's what we're working with, mainly images. And just note in your mind, is there anything that stands out? Anything that leaps out? Anything that just screams, use me? So have a flick first of all. Once you've gone through the entire magazine, from cover to cover, I want you to start again. This time, really take your time. Have a look at each of these pictures. And if there's something in the magazine that really grabs your eye, that you think, yeah, I like that, don't think too much about it. Just take it out. What we're making today is a contemplative collage, which means instead of setting out to make something, saying, I'm going to make a picture of such and such, or I'm going to make a happy picture, we're not going to do that. We're literally going to let the images do the work for us. And we're going to stop and have a look at what we've made later on. So I really like that. So to start off with, I'm just going to rip some pages out. So anything that leaps out at you, any visual images that speak to you, just rip them out. And make yourself a pile of the pages that you ripped out that hold all of these images. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, some great stuff in here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to carry on going through our magazines, ripping out all of the things that we find that speak to us. I'll see you in about 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes when you've had a go at that. Okay, so hopefully you'll all have your pile of ripped out pages full of images that have jumped out at you. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our magazine aside. So we've taken all the pictures out of there. And take our pile of images. I'm going to go through them one by one. And we're going to take the pieces out that really speak to us. I'm going to use the scissors for this. I like to cut my things out quite meticulously, all the way around the edges. But you don't have to do that. If you want to, you can rip them, or you can cut them out roughly. One of the things I like to do when I'm cutting out is I like to think about the point in the scissors where the two blades come together. That's the only bit that's cutting, so don't worry about how you cut out, just think about that point. That's where the cutting happens. And move the image through that point. Move the thing that you're cutting out through that point. You'll find you're able to cut things out a lot easier than if you try and move your hands with the scissors around the image. This picture I'm cutting out at the moment is a piece of artwork by James Lake, who's another magic carpet artist. Hi James, if you're watching. Okay, so start cutting your things out, make yourself a nice pile of cut out bits, then we'll go on to the next stage. So by now you'll have cut everything out. You'll have your various objects, maybe some people, and maybe some kind of scenes, background scenes, and then a few shapes. I've got some kind of ovals and rounds, nice pyramid I found here, some nice organic shapes, and some more abstract elements. Whatever it is that kind of spoke to you. I'd suggest it's good to have a few things that you can fill in. So I've got little bits of sky here, a bit of tree. And when you've been doing your cutting out, it's always worthwhile keeping some of the bits that you've decided to not use, just in case a bit later on. But in the main, don't go back to the main magazine. We'll leave that. So your next job is to start arranging your pieces. So have a board or even the piece of cardboard that you're going to be using later on, and start to arrange the pieces and allow yourself to just relax in how you do it. Allow your eyes to relax and just move things around until they seem to make sense to you. We'll probably spend about another 5-10 minutes having a look at that. So you'll be looking at your arrangement, and we're ready now to get our glue sticks and start to stick things down. So what I suggest you do is you have a good look at it, maybe take a photograph using a phone or whatever you got, something you can refer to, so you can see roughly where everything is, if not exactly, because there's going to be a lot of different elements, a lot of different bits in there. What I suggest you do is you work out which pieces are lower down at the back, stick them down first. It's tempting to stick things on the top to start off with and then put more glue underneath. It ends up not having as much structural integrity as an image. What I'd also suggest you do is using these old bits of paper that you've got left that you cut things out of. When you're going to do your gluing, put them down, put the thing that you're going to glue down and glue it, then take it off. Then you can just throw these bits away. That way you don't get glue everywhere. Similarly, you can do that with your leftover magazine. Just flick to a random page, put the thing you're going to glue in there, glue on the back of it, take it out, stick it down, turn the page, it'll stick to that page. Just keep going. When you're done, recycle the magazine. Okay, well, happy sticking, and I'll see you again in another 5-10 minutes, maybe. Well, looking at the state of this, probably another hour. Okay, so hopefully you finally finished. Everything stuck down. I've got everything stuck down on mine. Bit of card. And so the last thing I mentioned earlier, you need a steel rule and a craft knife. It's kind of optional, but what I'd like to do is just tidy up the edges of my piece of work. Sometimes it means you can get rid of some messy bits. Maybe you can introduce some other angles, things like that. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed yourself. I certainly have. For the past, it's been about 3 hours. So now I've cut the edges by piece, introduced a few little shapes, kind of bumps, just to give it a bit of perspective or whatever it might be. Now's the time to sit and spend a while having a look at what you've done. This is the contemplative part, I suppose. And what is it that you've made in your picture? What has your subconscious allowed you to express using the medium of your chosen magazine? Don't know what's going on in mine. There's all sorts of stuff. Probably come to me a little bit later. This has been a collage workshop for Magic Carpet. Magic Carpet is an amazing charity that works in East Devon, and it does some brilliant things with all sorts of people. If you want to help out Magic Carpet, in the section below there should be some information about how you could donate. If you want to put any comments by this video, that's great. If you want to, if you're able to post any pictures that you've made from one of these workshops, please do. Magic Carpet has its own Facebook page. It's called Magic Carpet. There'll be more of these, so please do post some comments if you like, and I'll see you again. Bye. Oh, thanks to my faithful assistant Nola as well for all her help and support in this endeavour.